All right, what's going on, YouTube? This is Boxing Wave, 3:30 in the morning. Just got in. All right, let's talk Lara, Delvin Rodriguez, and the future for Lara. You know how I am about my Lara videos, man. My Lara, my Cotto videos. All right, I make a lot of them. Those are my guys. But anyway, let's talk. All right, so Lara beats Delvin Rodriguez, pretty much uh, annihilated him through 12 rounds. Okay, Lara didn't finish him off. Um, he knocked him down. He beat him up for 12 rounds. All right. Uh, I was hoping that Lara got a stoppage. Okay. Not that I'm a huge KO guy or anything like that. It's just that when Lara was back on ESPN facing guys like Delvin Rodriguez, he was knocking them out. Okay. When he stepped up in a level of competition, when he started fighting the Carlos Molinas, the Paul Williams, the Angulos, the Canelos, all of these guys that he ran through at 154, Martirosyan, he's fought a lot of top guys at 154. The knockouts stopped coming, okay, which is understandable because once you're facing a different level of opposition and you're not a Golovkin type puncher, the KOs is going to slow down. It is what it is. But Delvin Rodriguez, I expected a knockout because Delvin Rodriguez has been knocked out before. And I remember when Lara was fighting these ESPN type fighters where he was knocking them out. So I wanted a knockout. You know what I'm saying? I did a prediction video. I wouldn't even really call him a prediction because we all knew Lara was going to win. I was just hoping he got the knockout because they put him on PBC. You know, this is probably the easiest opponent Lara has fought since he's been on ESPN. Back before he was on Showtime fighting and stuff. Showtime and HBO because he fought Martirosyan on HBO. All right, so this is the easiest opponent he's faced in a long time. And I wanted a knockout because I know what type of fight he's trying to get. He's trying to get the Triple G fight. He's trying to get the Mayweather, the Cotto, all of these guys. He's trying to get these fights. And I know what the average boxing fan or the average viewer is going to want to look for a knockout, especially when you're dominating a guy that bad. All right. So I was hoping for a knockout in that sense. All right. Not just because I'm a big knockout guy, because I enjoy a technician just as much as any guy that loves technicians. Lara and Floyd Mayweather are two of my favorite boxers. So it is what it is. But anyway, moving on. So he destroys Delvin Rodriguez for 12 rounds. I mean, as far as the fight is concerned, Delvin really didn't have anything for him. It was an easy fight for Lara. Lara dropped him. It is what it is. So let's talk about the post-fight interview, all right, with Lara. He called out Golovkin. He's been calling out Golovkin every single day for the past, he called him out last year, and now he's been still calling him out. He called out Mayweather. He called out Cotto, okay? I think the most possible out of the three guys he called out is Golovkin, okay? Because Golovkin has just came off a fight of beating Willie Monroe Jr. He's not going to get Cotto next or Canelo next because those two are most likely to fight each other in the fall unless Mayweather comes and snatches up Cotto. That's still very possible. So I think the Golovkin fight is possible because Golovkin is Lara's like a thorn in Golovkin's side. Like the fans are starting to bring it up now. A lot of people are bringing up Lara now in these interviews and stuff like that because Lara is constantly calling him out, okay? In interviews and now in his post fights, he's calling him out. And nobody else wants parts of Golovkin, David Lemieux, I think if Golovkin doesn't fight Lara next, all right, I expect it to be David Lemieux if he is to beat Endom. Okay, that fight is later this month, so I expect Golovkin to fight the winner of that fight before he fights Erislandy Lara, okay? But if he doesn't fight the winner of that fight, I expect him to beat Lara. This to shut the mouths of all the fans, because all of the fans, believe it or not, are at this point they're asking for the Lara fight more than they are against any other fighter at 160. I mean, besides Cotto, people not. I don't see people on here talking about Andy Lee and Golovkin, or not even Peter Quillin as much, because Peter Quillin is not really interested in fighting Golovkin like that. People are bringing Erislandy Lara because the guy is being vocal about fighting him. All right. So that's how I feel about Golovkin. I've already made videos before. I made a couple of videos. I made one recently too, about Erislandy Lara and Golovkin. Okay. Now, as far as Floyd Mayweather, if you just now watching my channel, this is your first time watching my channel, Floyd Mayweather against Erislandy Lara is my dream match. That's my personal number one match that I want to see, okay? I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think Lara has a good chance of beating Floyd, okay? This is why I want to see this fight. Not only are those two of my favorite fighters, but this is the only guy from 154, 147, 140, the weights that people bring up of different opponents for Floyd, that I feel that Floyd would have an extremely hard time of winning, okay? Not like Maidana, not like Castillo. I think Lara has a better chance than those two guys and anybody else in those divisions to beat Floyd, okay? Thurman, all these guys you guys want to bring up all the time. And those weights, I think Lara has the best chance of beating Floyd. I know a lot of you guys feel like that fight would be boring. Two guys standing in front of each other, try to out-chest move each other. That's cool. But a lot of fights you see of Floyd that you wanted to see, Canelo, Pacquiao, I don't know. I could go on. So many fights that you guys claim they were boring fights. They didn't live up to the hype because they had the names at the time, they had the momentum, or people wanted to see them. They swear that these guys were good enough to beat Floyd, and Floyd made it. It wasn't a debatable fight because Floyd outclassed them, and now you claim that it was boring. Now you have a guy like Lara, who is not an action-packed fighter, yet he's still a good match for Floyd. That's why I want to see the fight, because I want to see Floyd really tested. I want to see Floyd have to fight someone where he has to put 100% into the fight, okay? Both of them do, all right, to win that fight, all right? So I still want to see that fight. I don't think it's going to happen because Floyd is on his way out, and the last thing he wants to do at this point in his career, he already shut the mouths of everyone by beating Manny Pacquiao. Last thing he wants to do is fight a guy like Erislandy Lara, who has advantages over him because he has the height, he has the reach. Floyd normally has a reach advantage. He has to fight a guy, a southpaw, not because it's not going to be a hard fight for Floyd because Lara is a southpaw, but because of his style. Unlike Manny Pacquiao's, Lara is a master counterpuncher. He's a master at his style, the way that he fights. And this is why a lot of fans are upset that he didn't get the knockout. I was listening to the YTBC videos today. I was listening to on my way home. I was driving. I was listening to the YTBC. And I was tweeting early during the fight. And I'm listening to what people are saying. And, a lot of people said the same thing. I listened to Ego video. I listened to 78 Sports. I listened to AJ Knows Boxing. I listened to Fox. I listened to all their videos. And, a lot of people say the same thing about Lara wanting to try to go for the KO. And, everybody made great points. Like I told you in the beginning of this video, I wanted Lara to get the knockout. I wanted Lara to push herself in the Canelo fight, not just embarrass him by making him miss, but counterpunching him, making him pay, for making mistakes, like Floyd did against Canelo in their fight. Lara doesn't do that. Lara is a safety first fighter, even more so than Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, I feel like Floyd Mayweather is offensively a better fighter. He has more tools. All right. On the offense, when he's not being defensive, I think he has more tools, more um all around. Like I can't I don't want to break down all the list of what Floyd does in a fight, but I just think he's more well rounded than Lara. But what Lara does with that straight left hand, he's a master at timing it. You heard Antonio Tarver tonight. You heard them breaking down all the statistics. Lara's statistics matches Floyd Mayweather's as far as on a defensive standpoint and being precise and the amount of punches he lands and his percentages and stuff. He's right there with Floyd when it comes to boxing, you know, because he's mastered his way of fighting. That straight left hand will land against anybody. He doesn't miss, The only fight I've seen Lara have trouble in is against Carlos Molina. That's the only fight that I've seen Lara has some serious trouble with landing that punch. Everybody else, there's no way you're gonna make this guy miss, And I feel like, I just feel like it's a great matchup, because Floyd hasn't fought anyone like him, and Lara hasn't fought anyone like him, and I would love that fight. All right, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna be real. I would love to fight, but I know it's not gonna happen. Floyd at this point in his career, why fight Lara? Why? Why even take that risk? Not saying he's ducking Lara, but people ain't asking for it. Like, there's not a high demand for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a high demand for it. Plus, it's a risky fight, especially at this stage of Floyd's career. He wants a good fight. He want to put a good performance on. He wants the money, and then he wants to get out of here. If he retires 49-0 or 50 fights, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do. All right. As far as Cotto, not much to really say about that. It would be a good fight, especially Cotto right now. Cotto looks good. He's looked good in his last few fights, and he has a lot of momentum going on. It would be a good fight, I told people on Twitter the other day I think Lara would win, but you know what? I started thinking about it last couple of days. I don't really know if Lara would win that fight, because Lara, if it goes to decision, which it probably will, I don't know if Lara could get the judge's side on that one, because Cotto's he's been fighting very aggressive lately, and he's been fighting like the old Cotto, and even though Lara is very precise and defensively, he's great. Cotto moves well. He's looking quick and strong right now. I don't know, especially since they both fought Delvin. And even though Lara was able to land against Delvin all night consistently, Cotto still knocked him out. Cotto had him hurt early. It was no debating, who had a better performance against this guy. And it's definitely, you could definitely compare it. Cotto stopped him. Lara didn't. At the end of the day, all right, and Lara had all the opportunities to do it. Okay, now I'm gonna end this video. Lara's stubborn. He's stubborn, man. He doesn't care if the crowd boos. He don't care if he has his opponent hurt. It's safety first with him. Okay. I think later towards the end of the fight, the last few rounds or so, I think Lara was getting hit with the most shots he's been hit with throughout the fight, because I think he was being a little bit more aggressive. And I noticed that he started getting hit with shots that he normally wouldn't get hit with. Okay. And I think that's part of the reason why he's so defensive. Like, he doesn't like getting hit. And he's just not a finisher. He's not a finisher. And now that I think about it, back when he was knocking people out, it was usually with that straight left, one punch. You know, if he's not knocking you out with one punch, he's not going to throw 4 or 5 punch combinations. He's just not going to do it. The guy's a safety first fighter. It's kind of annoying because, like I said, I wanted him to get the stoppage tonight, but he's just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't care about the crowd reaction. He doesn't care what people say. He does not care. Lara's going to fight the same exact way. You know what? He's gonna. It's written. It's set in stone. He's never going to change it up. You know, and it is kind of annoying, but that's what we're getting with Lara. If that's his flaw, that's his flaw. So if he fights a guy that can make it competitive somewhat, he might not get the decision. This is why he had a draw against Vanes Martirosyan, because Vanes Martirosyan was more aggressive, even though Lara was doing his thing. Vanes Martirosyan was still more aggressive, and Lara wasn't really doing anything else other than what we see from Lara, yet he didn't have the effect on Vanes Martirosyan like that. You know, Vanes Martirosyan still was landing shots and still being an aggressor, and this is why they gave that a draw. You know, this is why he lost to Canelo, because Canelo was just being aggressive and landing the body shots, you know? So anyway, that concludes my video, man. I didn't put out a video. I'll probably do it now. I'll probably talk about it now. I'm going to do Nicholas Walter. I know he came in overweight at the weigh-in and all of that. All right. But make sure you guys hit subscribe. Check out my next videos. Okay. I'm going to talk about Nicholas Walters and some of the other fights coming up. But make sure you guys hit subscribe. All right. Peace.